All right, why don't we start off with your take on the job market? According to your data, June has been the worst hiring month of 2025, and then we get that stronger than expected jobs report. What's the real state of affairs?
Well, the real state of affairs is that the labor market has been cooling for many months at this point. And the June labor market report showed us that the private sector employment was the lowest it's been for a long time. The reason it was strong was that we saw an unusually high level of government hiring, and particularly state hiring. And so the labor market keeps on cooling. You saw that in the June labor market report, and you've seen it over a number of months. So the trend is pretty clear. The labor market is cooling.
I don't know if you were listening earlier. We had another guest on talking about recruitment of AI talent. Now, according to him, people who are, quote unquote, heads of AI are in high demand. And I asked him, what does that mean? And he said, sometimes the hirers themselves aren't quite sure what that person's going to do. When it comes to AI in particular, you say 58% of employees, they're investing in AI, but a large percentage of their employees aren't sure that they're really ready to jump into it. What are you seeing when it comes to hiring of people who are going to implement AI strategies in different companies in the private and public sector?
Well, what we're seeing is that AI is particularly being used for what you could think of as tasks. So companies are using AI, and in particular Gen AI, that helps solve certain tasks. Jobs, of course, contain many different tasks. So both things can be true. You can use a lot more Gen AI this year than you did last year, but you can also see that the rate of adoption and impact and productivity is not really visible. So Gen AI is very good for jobs that have tasks related to content, communication, and coding. So content means creative works, preparing PowerPoints, resumes, things like that. Those tasks are very suitable for Gen AI applications. Communication means customer service centers are really good in terms of Gen AI enabling the people doing their jobs better. And the only place where we can see through our data that Gen AI has an impact on the employment level is in coding. So software programmers, we can see, are experiencing higher levels of unemployment today than we've seen in the last 3 or 4 years.
Now, that's an interesting trend. I want to go to some of your outlook. Now, according to your data, globally, you're expecting to see hiring go up 24% year over year in Q3. We're in Q3 right now, of course. Can you give us a sense of how does that reflect in the U.S.? Is the U.S. also going to see 24% hiring growth? And what's going on? I remember in the beginning of the year, there was a lot of concerns about job disruption from AI and then economic uncertainty due to tariffs in part. But hiring is still strong?
Well, I would say that hiring is solid, and the number that you're referring to comes from our ManpowerGroup Employment Outlook survey, where we ask employers whether they are going to be hiring, holding their workforce steady, or reducing their workforce. So the 24% is the net between the employers saying that they'll hire and they'll let people go. And so this, I would say, is an average number. A strong number would be 38, 40%. A weak number would be 10%. So this is consistent with a solid labor market where employers are looking ahead into the third quarter and saying, we're moving forward. But what we are hearing from our clients as we speak with them is that the environment created by the tariff threat is making them hold back. And you can see this on the number of new hires, the new number of job postings. Quit rates are coming down. So essentially, employers are being very cautious right now. They can't really see where this is going. And so they hold on to the current workforce. That's why the labor markets are solid in the U.S. They're very solid in Europe as well, but there's limited growth in private sector employment, and that is consistent between the U.S. and Europe as well.